Hello dear students. In this second video on functions, we will see one more example of function and understand grammar of function. Now in the previous video, we saw how to design square function, which was very simple function which takes one parameter, finds square and returns the answer. Now let us design a function called max. Check the question. We want to design a function named max to find maximum of two integers. Okay. But we want to use this max to find maximum between four integers. So let's ignore this second part. Let's target the first part of the question. How do you design a max function which will take two integers and return maximum? So here is the function. We have written a function named as max, and it takes two parameters, you see, because max is supposed to return maximum between two integers. So first of all, when you call max function, you have to pass two values and both are integers. Now something interesting, you watch here. This max function has two parameters and both are int type. But then you will be driven to write like this, int x comma y, thinking that anyway both x and y are integers, so I will write data type only once and then I will write both the parameters. Remember, these are parameters. But there is some rule for writing parameters. Whenever you write parameters for any function, and even if the parameters are of the same type, you have to write data type for each of the parameters. Just check this. So suppose in some other example you had three int parameters, you will have to write int x comma int y comma int z, like that. So coming back to max function, max will definitely take two integers. So two parameters have been written. And what is max going to do? It's going to find maximum between x and y. So come on, maximum between two integers will be integer. So check the return value of max is int. So hence the first line becomes int max int x comma int y. And then rest is obviously very simple. You write curly brace open, curly brace close, and you check who is larger, x or y. If x is greater than y, then we return x, else return y. So simple if else we have employed. Just imagine this max is called from the main as follows, 5 comma 2. Now this 5 will go in x, first parameter, and 2 will go in y, second parameter. Now we are checking is 5 greater than 2, which is true. So the function is going to return back 5. Of course, 5 is larger between 5 and 2. So that's how we have designed the function. Now have a look at the second part of the question. The second part says use max to find maximum between four integers. So here comes main. Main is going to use the function. Just check main. In main, we have four integers, a, b, c, d. Okay, and we are going to ask the value of a, b, c, d to the user. So maybe user enters a as 4, b as 6, c as let's say 2, and d as let's say 1. And our program should find out who is the largest between a, b, c, d, or rather which value is largest. So it should print 6. 6 is largest. We have made one more variable m, where m will store the largest between a, b, c, d. Now, problem is, if we want to use our max function for finding maximum between four numbers, problem is max can receive only two numbers. You watch, you can't call max like this. Max, tell me who is largest between a, b, c, d. Wrong. You can pass only two values at a time to max, because that's the provision that you have made. But the question says that you have to design such a function which takes only two parameters, but in main you have to find out largest between four integers. So the job becomes very easy. Let's see the next line. User has entered A, B, C, D. Now what do you say about this line? Here we go. This is m is equal to max. So this is the call. and we are passing a comma b. Now notice a is 4 and b is 6, isn't it? That's the values entered by the user. So 4 will definitely go in x, so x will be 4, and b will definitely go in y, b will be 6. Now the function is going to check, is 4 greater than 6, which is false, so else will execute and function is going to return 6. And remember, this 6, please remember this 6 will be returned at the call. Always remember this. So this right hand side gets evaluated to 6 and then 6 gets stored in M. Indeed, now M is largest between A and B. M is largest, that is 6 between A and B. I hope you are understanding. So what we do now? I hope you have read the remaining program on your own by now and you have got it enough. GATE students. But it's my job to tell you what's happening exactly. Okay. So here we go. The first line done. M is equal to max of A comma B. A was 4, B was 6. So function returned 6 at the call. M is 6 now. Now how about this line? We have got one more number C. Now check this call. M is equal to max M comma C. You know M is already 6. Largest between A and B. And C in our exercise is 2. So can you imagine? X becomes 6 and Y becomes 2. We are checking largest between these two numbers. This time 6 is greater than 2. So return X. So 6 will be returned at the call. 6 is again returned over here at the call and 6 is stored by M. You observe this line here at the bottom. Similarly, we can again call max as M is equal to max M comma D. M is still 6 and D is 1. So obviously largest return will be 6 and M will become 6. Ultimately, we have found largest between A, B, C and D. And finally, we print maximum is M, that is 6. So you will say, what's so special about it, sir? Look, if you did not know functions, great. If you didn't know how to write a function, great. No problem. You can still write this program. What you do is, you ask the operator to enter 4 numbers, A, B, C, D, these numbers, and you write big if else. If A is greater than B and A is greater than C and A is greater than D. If A is greater than all, then A is largest. So you say printf %d A is largest. But what if this is false? So you'll write else if, ladder if, nested if you will write. Then you will ask, is B greater than A and B greater than C and B greater than D? If B is greater than all, then B is largest. So you will printf %d B. And if this is false, then you will write, oh good lord. You will then check, is C largest? Then you will print C. Else, enough is enough, you will print D. I hope you are understanding. But then you see the effort that you have done over here. When you had 4 numbers, the effort that you have put as a programmer to write such a big nested if has been reduced when you know what is a function. And that too, look at the kind of function that we have written. Such a simple function. It is checking only largest between 2 numbers. And in main, we are having 4 numbers. So what? We said we are having 4 numbers. So first call max to check largest between A and B. And whoever is largest, then again call max for checking largest between M and C. And whoever is largest, again call max for finding largest between M and D. So what if there were 5 numbers? Think over it. If we had A, B, C, D, E and M should be the largest. So what? Now you say, sir, you simply add one more line here. M is equal to max of M comma E. But can you imagine checking largest between 5 numbers using nested if? This is the concept of function. Functions ease our problem. They make our problem easier. So there is one saying, function is not compulsory. Some programmer says, I don't know function, no problem. You can still write any program without function. But functions will make your programming more legible, and you can break your big job into smaller job, which itself, this program itself has given you a taste of how functions can really ease your work. Now, before I end the video, there is something over here. See that you have written this max call 3 times over here on 3 different lines. Can we write this in one line? Obviously, we can use something called nesting of functions. Check how. We will call max, and you remember you can pass only two values to max. But then inside this, we will again call max a comma b. Check that this is a legal call. Max a comma b, we are passing only two values. Then comma max c comma d. This is also a legal call. And now there is an outer bracket pending over here, which I will close. Semicolon. Even this is going to do the same work. Let's imagine a is 6 and b is 4. Now you know then x will become 6 and y will become 4 and function will ultimately return 6. But where? Where is 6 returned? 6 is returned at the call. Just don't forget that. Now this max call will initiate and say, let's say c is 2 and d is 1. So x will become 2 and y will become 1 and function will return 2, the largest. But 2 will be returned at the call. Now are you watching? This outer max is having 6 comma 2 values. So 6 and 2 go to the function, correct? And the function returns 6 at the call. This 6 is ultimately stored by n. So you can do it like this. But anyway, whether you do it by using nesting, just I explained just now, or on individual lines, it doesn't make any difference because anyway you are calling max 3 times. Look, here also you are calling max 3 times, and here also you are calling max 3 times. So it's not that one is better than the other, but it can be written by using nesting. Let's see more exercises, more examples, and make it interesting about functions chapter. Thank you very much.